Hello. Hopefully you can hear me okay. You can see me okay. We should just give you a couple of minutes to jump on board. I can see my green light moving up and down on my microphone, so that looks well. Let me just check on here whether you can hear me. There we go. So we'll give people a couple. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Sorry, can't hear you. Let me just double check. Let me just refresh this 1 second. Was that you winding me up, Jason? Oh dear me. Let me just see. I should trust my own. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Oh, yeah, I can hear it. Thank you for that, Jason. We're friends like you. Who needs enemies? So hopefully we're all okay. Interesting one tonight. Cheers, Jason. Yeah, it's not like I've not got enough to do. Tonight's guest couldn't make it. They were stuck between a couple of flights, didn't know whether they'd be able to make it in time. They didn't want to do the live stream from the airport just in case. So we kind of threw this together. So this is just a bit of a catch up, a bit of a chat, talk to you guys as well, see how you're doing, especially now coming out of COVID and how shows are, what's different about them. I'm kind of finding that things are very much back to normal, surprisingly quickly. But I also know that there's a lot of people out there that are a bit nervous about booking shows now. Jellybean here as well. Jellybean is the guys that I actually bought these massive flight cases off in the background here. I say bought, I still actually need to give them the money for them. Somebody commented on one of the posters on Instagram. So Jellybean, great guys. So so the reason behind this post is to kind of drive home the reasons of why people should be booking stage hypnosis shows and what we can do as hypnotists to kind of push that out there and promote it. So I kind of thought we often get quite a few stage hypnotists watching this show, so maybe we can get a collective, we can get some inspiration, some ideas, and share that knowledge, because I'm a big believer in it's not, we're not in this individually, we are in this as a collective, and the more stage hypnotists that are out there doing a good job, the more people are going to want to come and see stage hypnotists. It's as simple as that. Thomas McGowan is here. I saw a very interesting photo of you this afternoon, Thomas. I didn't recognize you at first. There was that many filters on it, but you looked very good anyway. So, yeah. I think what we've got to do is drive home that, stage hypnosis shows are one of the best forms of entertainment that any party or event can have, but also at the same time knowing what's right for the client. I sometimes get emails from people that, that would be better suited with a magician, would be better suited with a singer or a stand-up comedian or something else. And sometimes I think as hypnotists, we just want stage time. We want to get out there. We want to be doing stuff. And it's not a case of, let's make our show fit anywhere that it can. For me, and everything I'm going to say tonight is just for me, this is my opinion, my experience. If we try to force a show in a space or a place that it isn't quite suited, it's going to have a negative effect. The clientele that are there are not going to have a great show. The booker's not going to feel like they've got value, and they're probably never going to book a show again. Whereas if we can, do what's right for the client and kind of say, listen, this might not be what's right for you, but I know a great magician, a great mentalist, a great table magician, a great singer, a great stand-up comedian that I think would be perfect for you. If, however, in the future you're looking for this type of thing, then I'm the guy for you. It instills a level of trust with you and the client, and it also means the client's going to have a great night. And it means that when they do finally book you, they know that they're going to trust what you're telling them because you've already been honest with them. And most likely, you're going to make sure you have a better show because it fits within the promises of what's right for our shows. As hypnotists, especially here in the UK, we get often booked for small pub type venues, and you've got to know your market to make those work well. Some guys do brilliantly in that market, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But if you've got a big show where you need some, a lot of space to have people working around, your show, you've got to make sure that you're doing what's right for the client. So it's just a little tip. There we go. They were the best forms of entertainment. I saw one of your shows and it had me in stitches throughout. Thank you, Adam. You'd have to say that. But hypnosis is one of those shows that where we're still very lucky that a lot of people have not seen hypnosis shows, especially here in the UK. I know America it's more accepted, and some other countries it's more accepted. But there's lots of audiences that have not seen stage hypnosis shows or comedy hypnosis shows, and because of that, we've got this thing where we can show them something new and exciting, and really kind of blow their minds. But it's got to be done in the right way. So marketing your show is so important, and how you deliver that message and push it out there. And it's the mindset that you have as well as a performer. It's not just about making sure you get as many shows as you possibly can. And I know I've been there in the beginning where for me, it's about just trying to fill my diary with shows. Now, not so much. But then, if you're just starting out in stage hypnosis or you're just starting to gig again, it's like when you go online, don't compare where you are with where other people are. A lot of the professional stage hypnotists that you see constantly in the groups and on Instagram and YouTube and everything else, these are guys that have been doing this for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And during that period of time, you figure out what works for you, what marketing to use, what photos to use, what images to use, what things best sell you as a performer. And that's really important. So we're going to touch on marketing. And guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, please do chuck them at me, because this is a bit of a free fall. I'm just going to grab my cup of tea. Hang on. And let me know where you're watching from as well, because I had to refresh the screen because Jason told me that there was no sound, so I don't actually see too much information on the screen. So yeah, if you've got any questions, fire them over. I'm happy to share any kind of my experience of what I find has worked for me. And also do keep your eye out here in the UK. If you're a UK hypnotist, I know there is a couple of marketing courses. I think it's the beginning of next year, where Richard Barker is coming over through both Chris and Carl, and he's doing some marketing courses as well. And Richard Barker is a phenomenal guy when it comes to marketing. That's his thing. This tonight is just me filling this time and sharing some of my experience about what I find that works. So I think the most important advice I could give to someone, and this is also for hypnotherapists, and a lot of the stuff when it comes to stage, I believe is really relevant to hypnotherapists, because there's a lot of therapists out there that don't drive their marketing. They're very, wishy-washy and plinky plonky music in the background and just soft and gentle. Whereas if you've got your marketing right, you can really kind of make a massive impact in your local area or in a bigger area as well. And a lot of the stage stuff is really what kind of drives that home. So one of the things I always suggest to people is about getting good quality headshots, which sounds ridiculous, but this is the thing that sells you. This is the thing that when that person looks at that image, when they're going through the Google search of different hypnotherapists or different hypnotists in the local area, that image is where they're going to form that first opinion of you. And if that image is taken on a camera or your phone or your friend's taking it, then there's a chance it's probably not going to be lit well. It's not going to be, the composure is not going to be right on it, and it's not going to deliver your personality through that image. So, I'm a big fan of making sure you get a personal brand photographer, someone that understands what is going to bring your personality out. I have a good friend. I'll not say his name because I don't want any other hypnotists using him. I'll be dead honest. But there's other guys out there that are brilliant as well. That person will get to know you, get to know your personality, and by doing so enables them to deliver your message through that picture. And it is about kind of showcasing who you are. Another thing as well, and this is only a recent thing for me, is about finding out what you're good at And that might just be doing hypnotherapy or doing whatever your business is, or shows or performing, finding out what you're good at and focusing on that. And the tasks that are not your strengths, then pay somebody else to do it. Now that may sound like, oh, you need to get bookings in first, you need to get clients in first, you need to get these things in first. Most of you guys have spent thousands of pounds learning this craft, thousands of hours getting brilliant at it. So invest a couple of £100 to get someone to look after your social media. Invest a little bit of money to get a virtual assistant. I didn't know what a virtual assistant was, but they're an absolute godsend. They look after the things that... oh, there we go. Thomas McGowan. I have learned this lesson this week and booked a photo shoot for Monday. Very quickly, Thomas, what's the initials of the person you booked with? Is it who I think it is? Because if it is, he's a great guy as well. But yeah, let's have a look. Oh, there we go. So I was up to, yeah, a virtual assistant. That's a person that will kind of look after the bits. Like, so if you need a database of things putting together, they can do that for you. If you need a list of sports clubs, leisure centres, places where you could do talks to promote your hypnotherapy practice, or places where you can demonstrate your stage hypnosis, a virtual assistant can look after that for you. And whilst they're doing that, that frees up your time to do what you do as well. So yeah, let's have a look. Yep, that very same man. Do you know what? He's a great guy. Don't share who it is, Thomas. The reason being is I don't want all the hypnotists having the same style images, because then we all look the same. And it's about standing out, which is why you want a personal brand photographer, because they can bring your personality out through the image. And Thomas, I guarantee you're going to have some amazing images at the end of that shoot as well. He's a great guy. I saw the ones that he did for Kaz, and they were amazing as well. If you want to send me a message, I will happily, share his details with anyone that is watching this. That's completely fine. But yeah, especially with stage hypnotists, there is a lot of stage hypnotists that have pictures that are very amateur pictures that make them look a bit serial killery. And as an industry, we are tired with that kind of weird, mysterious looking serial killer, creepy looking images, especially as males as well. So to have a professional image headshot does make a massive difference. And that's also, Dylan is here as well. That's also especially true if you're prospecting venues and clients. They're going to form that opinion on you when they first see that image. If you look like a serial killer, they're probably not going to book you for a holiday park. So you've got to make sure your images look good. Dylan's got some great images. So yeah, when it comes to prospecting shows, what I found worked really well in the past, and again, when I was new, it was a case of knocking on doors and getting bookings. Over years, for me, it's about getting return bookings. But originally getting out there and actually, putting your feet on the floor and knocking on doors and approaching venues. I find, contact venues that have tribute nights on, because they tend to have a decent budget already, and then ask them about that. Carol Sloan is here. Hi, Carol. Carol is a client of mine. Please do not bombard her with requests for being a hypnotist. So yeah, make sure when you prospect a venue, you're doing it what's right for them. If you get to the venue and it's not right for you, then don't put yourself forward. It's about making sure that you're delivering a positive show in a positive light. It's about doing it about what's right for the client. How can I best serve their needs? And then that way they're going to work with you more. They're going to come away with more value. And everyone's going to have a great night, which is what's the most important thing. When you are doing your shows, again, if you have got someone that has got a professional camera or a photographer, if you've got the budget for it, then try and make sure to get those assets, those really great quality images from a show, because they will make a massive difference. They really make a massive difference. I have done okay shows that look phenomenal. So that's an asset that I've now got that can sell my show. And again, it's all about developing and creating those assets. So you've got a folder on your computer that's filled with really good quality images, professional images and videos that you can send the client. If I can give you one tip about videos, show the audiences, if you've got their consent, show the audiences having a great time. The client doesn't care too much what your technique is, how fast you are, or anything like that. What they care about is, are their clients, are their customers, are their associates going to be entertained? And that's the most important thing. We are entertainers first and foremost, and business people second, and hypnotists somewhere way down beyond that. Because if they're entertained and they get value, then you'll get a rebooking. And I work with clients and build relationships with them. Carol will testify to that, hopefully. I class Carol as a friend, and she's a great lady that does some great events as well in this local area. And it's about that. I have some bookers that only book me once every 3 years, once every 4 years. But if you keep that relationship and you can serve their needs, then you'll get repeat bookings. And then that way, it's not long before you go from being an amateur hypnotist, a hobby hypnotist, into a professional stage hypnotist. And then that frees up more time to do what you want to do. When we're prospecting for shows, what's important is to realize that, our competition isn't another hypnotist. And if there's another hypnotist watching this and your business model is to just find a venue that has hypnotists on and then send them an email and try and do it cheaper or better, then you will come unstuck. That's not the way to generate new business. There is lots and lots of venues out there. Definitely a great show and done so much for my charity, Entertaining Fab. Oh, thank you very much, Carol. Yes, I've still got my mug upstairs. Where was I? Yeah, if you're prospecting a venue just based on you've seen another hypnotist working there or advertising a show there, and you want to do a better show, that's not a thing. Once a hypnotist is working with a venue, they have a relationship with that venue. But if you find a venue that has comedy nights on, if you find a venue that has tribute nights on, then it's always great to send them an email and introduce yourself as well. That's a great way to prospect it, because there's plenty of work out there. The difficult bit is that, if you struggle with a show, that booker is never going to book again. They're going to look at your show and they say, we tried it, hypnotists don't work here. Because what we do is so unique, they see us all as being the same, which is why it's so important to make sure that you're delivering the right show for the client. If it's not right for them at that time, it kills it for everyone. So yeah, like I say, guys, if you have any questions, I am just waffling on, but do let me know. Our competition is stand-up comedians. Our competition is tribute nights. Our competition is other forms of entertainment. I work a broad spectrum of types of venues, from festivals to parties, working men's clubs, anywhere and everywhere. And I always try and deliver that great show, and the client knows what to expect from me. But really, we can take this show and do it anywhere. Weddings is a phenomenal market at the moment. But make sure if you're doing weddings, it's a good, clean show. You've got all the families there, you've got children there, you've got grown-ups there, you've got grandma there, you've got nieces and nephews there. You keep it clean. And there's a few guys out there, Jason O'Callaghan as well, Adrian Knight over in Ireland, who are massive wedding hypnotists. And I think Jason has a course to help promote that as well. So that's a great way to get that out there. But yeah, the most important thing is just keep doing a great job. I know there is a few groups out there promoting entertainments. Great question there, Joris. Do I write different shows for different venues? Absolutely. I've done them, and coming out of COVID, I've done them. But if you're doing a pub show that's a bit of let's say the crowd is a bit more rowdier, they get a very different show than what a a 4-star hotel or a 5-star hotel would get. You can be a bit stronger on the language, you can be a bit cheekier on the show, but still keeping it within the realms of what's right for you. It's one of those things that it's guaranteed that if you push what you're not comfortable doing, someone's got a camera phone, someone's going to be putting that on social media, and that's going to tie you from other venues. But the material that I use is different in different types of venues. Not only that, I sell them as packages like that. I have 3 different shows. I have my purple shirt and waistcoat show. I have my black paisley jacket show, and I have my purple velvet show. The purple velvet jacket tends to be for theatre shows or big shows, and the other shows tend to be for different types of shows. The one that's just a waistcoat and a shirt will be a type of venue that is where I need more movement, more flexibility, and package them differently as well. So yeah, it's always better to I have a different pre-talk for these different types of venues as well, because if you've got a ticketed show at a theatre or a town hall, they're already committed to seeing that show and enjoying it, and their belief is already there. You don't need as much in that pre-talk. If you're doing a pub, for example, a bar, and they don't know there's a hypnotist going to be there, or they've seen a hypnosis show and it was terrible and they don't like hypnotists, then you've got to do some real work in that pre-talk. So you have to put in more legwork and really kind of get them on side and build that rapport in the beginning. So the pre-talk's different for that as well. And like I say, the routines have got to be slightly different to get them on side. So yeah. Message you a couple of local clubs interested in booking in Marsh and Waterloo. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Carol. The check is in the post. You'll be inundated by all the hypnotists now. So yeah, different material for different venues and different clients as well. Sometimes clients will tell you that they want an adult show, and it depends where your levels are. See what the audience is like. I personally don't do too much adult stuff, but I have done it and I can do it. But it's about keeping the booker happy first and foremost. Yes, it's nice to have the audience happy, but our job is to make sure that that booker, the person that pays us, is the person that's happy. Now, sometimes that means making sure they're spending money behind the bar. In the early days, I used to do a 2-hour show. Because it was about me, and people were enjoying that show and the audience was enjoying that show. But the venue, they've paid good money to have entertainment on, and the tills are not ringing. So that's not good for them. So it's really important to make sure, what's going to keep the client happy and what's going to get you a return booking. Now, I do not do 2-hour shows. So yeah, that's really important. Knowing what to post on social media to promote your show. I've kind of got a couple of links here as well. Let me just see if I can pull them up. Is that it? That is it. Let me push that over there. I've got a couple of links here. What's that one? I've just popped that up actually. That is a link to my YouTube channel. Let me just that's the YouTube channel. Please do go subscribe to that, because on there as well you will find lots of hypnotists from around the world, which is what is normally happening here, delivering their messages, saying what they think makes a successful stage hypnotist. And over the last 2 years, there's been some absolutely golden nuggets of information that's been delivered there from some world-class experts. So do go check that out as well. And each one has something that really does deliver that message. Let me have a look. If you're in the UK and you are interested in stage hypnosis as well, I'll just bring this up as well. Oh, that's my books. Is it the books? That's my Amazon affiliates. That's for the books that are here. Check those out. Each week when those guests come on, they recommend a book that they think is important to help them with their business and their stage hypnosis career. So they're on there as well. That is a stage hypnosis development group that was set up by myself, Natasha, and Christopher Kress. If you're interested in stage hypnosis in the UK, that's a great place to go as well. The last one that I've put up on here is Canva. If you use Canva at the moment, you will know it's an absolutely great tool. It's like a template site where you can put in your colors, your logos, your branding, and it can create everything for you. As you'll see there, that's from an Instagram story. It gets the right size in the right format. You can put your colors in, you can change everything, and it keeps everything looking really slick. So you can then put your branding on all of your motivational quotes, on all of your pictures that you put out there. You can make everything look really professional. And that's a free site. If you want it to be free, if you want to pay for more, you can pay for more. But Canva is a great tool if you've not got a graphic designer on hand that can print your stuff out and really make it look professional. But yeah, so I would highly recommend that as well. And that, again, for hypnotherapists, if you're delivering those lovely motivational quotes from the Dalai Lama and Yoda and whoever else, if you set up your camera right, you can really deliver that, and it just sends people back to you. It makes you look like a brand rather than just a lone hypnotherapist or stage hypnotist. So hopefully that as well. I just realized you went live on your profile as well as your page. I wonder where all the comments were coming from. Yes, they're coming from everywhere. I think we are live on Facebook, my Grant Saunders Hypnosis page, Hypnosis Happens Anywhere, in the group, and on LinkedIn as well. So if you are commenting and watching this on LinkedIn, I don't get the comments from that, but I will check those out afterwards as well and answer any questions. Natasha, the Canva is my go-to for all my own and client social media content. Natasha is the virtual assistant I was telling you about earlier on. She's crazy as a box of frogs, but she really gets the job done. So yeah, if you are interested in any of the stuff that she does, do get in touch with Natasha. She's great at really looking after those, everything you need, to be fair. She's good for that. So yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, make sure you're doing a good job. If you're doing a good job, you'll get rebookings. And don't end the relationship with a client once you've been paid. A lot of entertainers, a lot of stage hypnotists, they get paid, they go home, and then they forget about that. Keep those relationships going, because these are great, crazy in all the best ways. Absolutely. It's about building those relationships, because when that person somebody asks them about a hypnosis show or a hypnotist or anything like that, you want to be right at the front of the mind so they can go, Grant's the guy that you want, Dylan's the guy that you want, Fraser's the guy that you want, whoever it is, be at front of mind. And the best thing is you only need to do that a dozen times. If you build a dozen relationships with clients, your diary is full. It's as simple as that. And you do a good job for that client, they will recommend you to other venues and to other bookers. Half a dozen good advocates for what you do, and your diary is full. And it makes life easier the further down the line you go, because you don't want to be chasing your tail day in, day out, trying to get bookings and bookings and bookings. Just build those relationships. I'm very lucky. I don't know if you're a booker and you're watching this, if you're a venue and you're watching this, do get in touch with me. I will send you over my pack about what we can do to put on a good show, and why you want my show rather than anybody else's. But by doing so, you you're really doing a great show, delivering a great service, and you're not having to flog yourself over and over again. I'm lucky that a lot of my bookings are rebookings. A lot of my clients, when they contact me, aren't looking for a hypnotist, they're looking for me. But that's took a few years to get that way. And I'm still many years behind other guys that have got this nailed on. We have some great hypnotists that have some great tips and tricks as well. Rich Guzzi is a phenomenal hypnotist over in America. 300 shows a year this guy's doing. His book is that one there, Performing Hypnosis. Do check out his stuff. Some great tips about performing hypnosis as well. What else have we got here? I do quite like waffling on. If you're watching this on catch up as well, do let me know in the comments on YouTube where you're watching this from. What I will do is I will leave this all the channels that it's on at the moment, but then 24 hours from now, I'll delete it from Facebook and everywhere else, and it will just be on YouTube as well. I am starting to put up different videos on YouTube from the stage side of things, the performance side of things, and other bits and bobs as well. So if you are interested in hypnosis, like we said earlier, please do like and subscribe to that. We have some great stage hypnotists here in the UK, and do watch this. Do share your stuff in the comments section, and we can all kind of give each other, share the love as such. So that's me. I've waffled for 30 minutes now. If you want any advice or just want to hear some weird stories from me about hypnosis and, stories from my world, then by all means do get in touch with me. This channel is about building those relationships with people that are interested in hypnosis, people that are doing hypnosis. And through the lockdown, I found my love of live streaming and doing, just messing around and talking to you guys. So yeah, that's it from me. Let me know in the comment section where you're watching from as well. If you have enjoyed this and others like this, or if there's anything you'd like from me, a more structured video on any particular type of topic, then do let me know on YouTube in the comment section, and I will deliver that for you as well. Thomas, thank you very much. We are due a coffee very soon, my friend. Yes, guys, that's it from me. Take care and enjoy your weekend.